Traveler's been out for a long time now. Yes, you can relax. Believe me, Master is extremely knowledgeable. If he says that he's going to be alright, then there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Oh, are you awake now? Oh, thank goodness! Traveler, you're finally awake! Well, we're at... Good question. Where are we? Haima was in such a panic when you passed out that she even forgot to ask what place this is. This is Gandharvaville. It was originally built by scholars from Sumeru as a place to rest in the rainforest. Now it's mainly used by the forest rangers as a base of operations. My name is Kale. I'm a trainee forest ranger. My master and I found you passed out during our patrol, so we brought you here. Oh, no things are necessary. I didn't do anything, really. By the way, how are you feeling now? Any discomfort? Oh, that's Master's herbal medicine you're tasting. Before I forget, Master mentioned you should... Whoops!
Kale, what's the matter? Were you trying to retrieve the medicine? As I've already told you, you must be careful with these. All right, I'll get it for you once I'm finished here.
Sorry, Master.
Now, the guide to Avidya Forest's edible fungi is clearly posted on our bulletin board. But if Farbode forgets which mushrooms to avoid one more time, I'll have no choice but to leave the guide somewhere a little more visible. Like right smack on his forehead so others can remind him to be careful.
Right? This is the second time he's come down with food poisoning this month. I'll be sure to...
Yes, please do. If, on the off chance, Farbode simply enjoys having little imaginary fairies dance before his eyes, then we'll just let him be. But the next time he requires any of our medicine, be sure to charge him accordingly. So, how are you doing? Feeling better?
is my master, Forest Watcher Tainari. He is chief officer over all the rangers here in Gandharville.
I already informed Paimon about the reason you fell unconscious earlier. But now that you're awake, let me explain it for you as well. It is common practice for Sumeru scholars of certain darshans to dedicate themselves to training and meditation in isolated areas, particularly the nearby forests. While meditating, they use a certain incense known as spirit borneol to help calm their minds as they enter a state of deep rumination. In hopes of asking directions, you two followed a scholar named Hypatia into her cave. The incense you smelled inside was the spirit borneol I just mentioned. That incense typically has no effect on most people, but for a very select few, it can have profound effects on one's cognition. Very good. Now, answer me this. Did you feel anything after passing out? Say, any out-of-body experiences? Or did you see anything while unconscious? Kale, let the others know to stop bringing their patrol logs here for now.
Huh? Why?
Because these two will be staying here for the next few days. They can have my room and I'll bunk with...
Yes, Master Tainari. Wait, hold on a second.
Sure, let me fill you in. I originally planned to send you on your way once you finished your medicine.
Further observation?
No need to be hasty. As long as you have the capacity to judge between right and wrong, I promise that you'll understand Based on what you saw after smelling the incense and losing consciousness, we can conclude that you experienced a powerful hallucination, which suggests your mental state is not in the best of shape. If you're skeptical, have a whiff of this.
Oh, are you okay?
You're experiencing a similar sensation as when you passed out, aren't you? So even though your condition is stable as of now, if I were to haphazardly... The rainforest is home to many fierce animals and hazardous areas. For now, I suggest you continue taking your medicine each day and avoid wandering off on your own. At least... Good. Now continue resting while I fire up another bowl of medicine for you.
Seriously? We just arrived in Sumeru and we're already having problems left and right! Paimon knows we're set on meeting Lesser Lord Kusanali as soon as possible, but hey! Are you even listening to Paimon? Paimon's over here worrying about you, you know. What's weird? You mean how you're feeling now? You mean the vision of tree roots and red skies you saw? But if those weren't hallucinations, what could they be? Well, considering how unique you are, Paimon, if he misjudged your condition, then there's a chance you could get worse, right? Huh? You mean that Tainari already knows that what you saw weren't hallucinations? Oh, Paimon gets it now. That explains why you were so quiet earlier. Well, that settles it then. We'll stay here but it seems like asking Tainari might not be an option anymore. What do you think we should do? idea. Kale's pretty friendly. We... Rise and shine! Come on, it's time to go find Kale!
Yesterday, a total of 5 dusk birds.
All right, next let's see your right hand. But please remember that you still need to be careful.
Yes, I will.
Look, Kale, today's patrol will be a long one, so you won't...
But I have a vision too!
Don't talk like that, Kale. This is not something you need to be worried... Ah, there you are. Feeling any better?
Yeah, since we'll be staying here for now, we thought we might as well try...
Seems you're not the type to sit back and take it easy for a while, huh? And if you're feeling up to it, you can be responsible for cleaning the Statue of the Seven.
Tenari, we're ready to head out.
Roger, I'll be right there. All right, we'll be heading into the forest now. I'll leave any further details to Kale.
Yes, you can count on me. So, Kale, Tainari mentioned cleaning the statue just now? Well, a forest ranger's responsibility. We handle a variety of tasks, like checking the condition of outlying roads, maintaining forest. As for Master, well, he has to Today we can perform routine checks on the pathway lamps as we make our way to... Paimon, Traveler, this way! You can leave the task of checking the lamps to me. In the meantime, you two can keep an eye out for anything unusual. Nothing wrong with these two lamps. Let's move to the next ones. Oh, this lamp seems to be getting a little wobbly. Let me make a note of it. No problems with this lamp. Good. The Statue of the Seven is up on top of that large rock formation. It's pretty high up there, isn't it? Don't worry. If you're afraid you can't make it up there, I'm sure Master wouldn't mind if you don't... Oh? I guess I'll leave it up to you then. Paimon will fly up with you and help you... by the way, Kale... that depends. Are you referring to Greater Lord Rukudavata or Lesser Lord Kusan... Huh? Greater... Oh, is that the name of the... Greater Lord Rukudavata was Sumeru's... To the people of Sumeru, she's not only a symbol of wisdom, but also of power and kindness. Unfortunately, she disappeared in a great calamity that occurred a few hundred years ago. According to what Master has told me, to celebrate the reinstatement of their lost deity, the sages dubbed her Well, and then... Yeah, I'm from... Maybe it's difficult to discuss this topic with... No, it's not that. I'm not trying to hide something from you. Anyway... Wait, Amber? You mean... Yes, that's her. I once lived in Mondstadt for a while, and there's no one like Amber. She lives life to the fullest while always adhering to her strong sense of justice. She's ready to answer the call for action at any moment, but is also very understanding of others. She's like the spark that lights the fire in everyone's heart around her. If you ask me, she's a... sorry. Paimon thought the work of Outriders was a little different from what you just described, but... sorry. It's alright, Kale. Knowing that you're... So, how do you... Well, after I returned to Sumeru, Amber and I have stayed in touch by writing each other letters. In one letter, she mentioned that Mondstadt was attacked by a fearsome dragon, but the city was saved by a mysterious blonde traveler and their floating companion. I knew you two were the ones she mentioned in the letter the moment I saw you. But, considering everything you've been through that day, I thought it'd be inappropriate to bring it up. So that... Yep, so please know that you two have my... I wish I could tell you more about the Dendroarchon, but I... That's alright. You've already helped us a lot. We had never even heard of Grid... Oh, I'm happy that was helpful. So that's why you're here. Don't mention it. We are friends after all, right? You both have my thanks. While you two are up there cleaning, I'll go ahead and inspect the forest canopy. Let's meet back here shortly. I'm not a very good class. I'll go check the facility. Now that Paimon looks at it, the deity that's... Do you think she's supposed to be Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or Lesser Lord Kusanali? You might be right. Well, anyway, let's get started on... Nice work! That's one clean statue. Let's head down and meet up with Kale. Welcome back! You must be tired after all that climbing. Yay! Food! What kind of goodies did you bring? Hey! Don't be a party pooper! It's not like Kale is a stranger or anything. Besides, the best way to compliment a chef is to show passion. I prepared a nice portable dish that forced me... No! You dropped it on the ground! Not to worry. I wrapped a few layers of oiled paper around each pita. They should be fine. Oh, Those pitas are amazing! Thank goodness you wrapped them in paper. Paimon! You really know how to cook. Since you liked it so much, I'll be sure to give you a copy of the recipe sometime. I'll even include all my personal cooking pointers, so you'll be making your own pita pockets in no time. Yay! Thanks, Kale! Oh, so, Kale, don't you... Paimon knocks stuff over all the time flying around the Traveler, but he's never said anything. Everyone has their clumsy moments. No, you've got the wrong idea about Master. Sure, he may seem a bit harsh at first, but with some time, you'll see that he's actually very kind-hearted. I've heard the veteran rangers say that Master is from some ancient and mysterious... Oh, by the way, you've heard of the Academia, right? Well, there's a group called... anyway, because Master does a lot of research on plants. Sages, but Master declines their offers every time, saying, Sumeru City is too noisy. It'd be bad for my ears. I know. Anyway, Master could have easily left the rainforest to take up a position at the Academia, but he chose to stay here instead as a forest watcher, helping the locals In fact, Master's the one who taught me how... Really? Paimon would have never guessed that. Oh, speaking of Tainari, he was the one who took care of you after finding you. Paimon's still kinda upset, though. He kept scolding Paimon the entire... Oh no, I'm sorry. Master might have been overreacting a little, but it's mostly because Paimon wouldn't stop yelling, Why, oh why, is he going to die? It probably started to get under Master's skin after a while. Hey! Don't laugh! Paimon was genuinely concerned about you. Hey! Now even Kali's starting to let... Ugh, that's it! Paimon won't... No! Don't touch me! Oh, sorry, Kale. No, I just... Kale, are you okay? What's the matter? No, I'm fine. I'm sorry. I must have startled you both reacting like that. Oh, well, let's get... Huh? What was up with Kali just now? And why is she in such a hurry all of a sudden?
The rainforest climate is far more pleasant than that of the desert.
Ah, Traveler. You've returned.
Yep, we're back!
Oh, Kale?
Oh, okay.
I think I'll stay here a while. Down on my feet.
The rain won't slow me down.
Paimon was thinking all night about what happened with Kale, and still can't figure out what the problem might be. better mood now. Let's go check on her.
Ah, it's you two. I was just about to go look for you.
Huh? Tighnari? What are you doing here? Where?
I came to check on Kale's condition.
You mean she's sick? How could she be...
No need to worry. Something as small as you could never harm her. This sickness is something that Kale has been more excited than usual since you two arrived. A little too much so. I suppose it's understandable, though. She hasn't been around anyone.
So, Tighnari, what's...
Let's take this conversation elsewhere. Kale just... All right, let's continue our conversation here, shall we? To be honest, I hadn't realized that you're that honorary knight from Mondstadt until Kale So, just to clarify, what I'm about to tell you about Kale is not because of who you are or your past. Well, because Kale asked me to. And honestly speaking, I was against Kale revealing her past, but she insisted, saying you two treated her with sincere...
So, Tighnari, what exactly is...
Right. Ever since she was a child, she's been afflicted with a disease called Elazar.
Elazar?
Yes, it's a disease unique to the lands of Sumeru. It is characterized by dark and hard. At first, the afflicted may only feel mild numbness on the affected area of the skin. However, in its final stages, the disease strips a person of the ability to control their own body.
That sounds terrifying. Wait, hold on. So when Kale seemed to be acting a little clumsy earlier?
Correct. That would be the effects of Elazar, which is precisely why I do not want her carrying or holding anything, lest she ends up hurting herself. With appropriate treatment, the disease can be effectively controlled before it progresses to a more serious stage. However, nevertheless, Kale's mother still hoped that there was something out there. She handed Kale over to an organization known as the Fatui after one of their members lied and said they had a cure.
What? The Fatui?
Ah, it appears you are already familiar with them. Anyway, the person who eventually rescued Kale and brought her to me for care said that she had been given to a harbinger known as the Doctor. I have no idea how this doctor managed to do it, but her case of Elazar was completely stable for all the years that Kale was with them. However, Kale's days with the Fatui were anything but pleasant. Kale is a resilient individual and always tries to appear cheerful, but her experience with the Fatui has left deep scars.
Oh, Paimon had...
Oh, by the way, Paimon, Kale wanted me to tell you...
She doesn't need to apologize.
Well said. I hope you'll get a chance. Kale once thought that it would be impossible for her to have any...
Don't worry, Tighnari. We'll take good care...
Well, it's not too serious at this point. She overexerted herself the last couple of days, which is what led to her breakdown this time. As long as she has taken... Though, I must admit that Kale's condition was much more stable when she first arrived here in Gandharvaville. She was interested in the work of the forest rangers the moment she saw us. I could see that she was... Her stamina has gotten much worse recently. Though a moderate... All right. Now that I've told you about Kale's past, I think I'll head into the...
Yeah, we'd like to do some...
All right. But I must warn you two. The rainforest is a dangerous place, especially for someone who's still recovering like the Traveler. You must follow closely and listen to every instruction. Let's go then. We'll be looking for a plant known as lunar lotus. It's often used to help those afflicted with Elazar recover their energy.
Hey, Tainari? Where exactly are we going to find this plant?
Lunar lotus can be found all over the rainforest, but it often grows right here around Gandharvaville.
Given the name, it sounds like we should be looking for it in the water.
You are correct. Lunar lotus grows in the water. When fully matured, they look like giant blue flowers floating on the water's surface. Quite an attractive species, if you ask me. The large petals are actually the plant's leaves and sepals, which surround a very small flower. You should note that many of the plants found in Sumeru have names that are contrary to their species. Take the Kalpalata, for example. The plant is not a lotus at all, but rather a vine. And then there's the Sumeru rose, which is not a rose, completely contrary to its name.
Oh, okay then. Note to Paimon. Never flowers with Tainari.
There should be lunar lotuses growing somewhere in this area. If you could manage to gather 4 of them, that would... We'll rendezvous here once you've gathered...
Alright, we've gathered enough lunar lotus. Let's head back to meet Tainari. Hey, Tainari! We found the...
Let me take a look. I'm quite glad you two came along. Your exploration experience helped save me a lot of time here.
Hey, Tainari!
Oh, Tainari! Someone's calling your...
Ah yes, that's Amir and the others. But didn't they just set off now? Let's go find out what's going on.
Next on the agenda.
Tainari, thank goodness we found you here. We were just about to head back and find you at Gandharvaville.
What's going on?
We just discovered a withering zone.
The withering is back? But the patrol route you were on should have been already... Can you tell me the exact location?
It's up ahead, deep in the river valley. It's appeared in a spot that blocks nearly the entire narrow part of the valley area. So we...
And the radius of the contamination?
Sorry, I couldn't get a...
No one in our patrol team had a vision, and it appeared to still be spreading. So
Okay, I understand. You made the right decision.
Wait, Tainari!
You two have only just arrived in Sumeru. You're still unfamiliar with many things in these lands. There's a unique type of anomaly. The affected area is not only...
Yes, Amir is absolutely right. I wasn't kidding when I said the rainforest is a dangerous... As Amir said, only someone with a vision, that is, the power to manipulate elements, will be able to resist...
That's right. If any of the forest rangers without a vision come across a withering zone, only someone with a vision can venture within a withering zone and find... But you don't seem to carry a vision.
Don't worry, he may not have a vision,
Wait, you've met other forest rangers before? I was planning to properly show. Anyway, since you.
We're way behind schedule.
Hey, look! That gloomy... Even though Paimon's seen one...
All right, traveler. We're about to enter the Withering Zone. Since you all... But please remember, don't push yourself. If at any point it becomes too much... You ready then? Let's go. First, we must locate any branches sustaining the Withering Zone.
Go as one!
Great work. Now that all the branches have been cleared, we'll need to take care of the tumor.
This is long overdue.
Wind, hear me.
Born of ice and frost. No touching. Come on.
Propagate! Now, destroy the tumors of the Withering.
We did it! Everything's returning to normal now!
Yes, thanks to you two. We were able to quickly restore this area.
Tainari? You make it sound...
It's that obvious, huh? Recently, the rate at which the Withering Zone appears has been increasing. If that simply meant more work for me, then that wouldn't be an issue. But, for instance, even though we cleared out the Withering Zone, many of this presents a crisis for the ecosystem itself. Many plants in the rainforest are... And most disturbingly, as the appearances of Withering Zones have started to increase...
Huh?
I'm still not sure of the exact reason. However, I've received word from acquaintances at the academia that's... No, none that we know of. The Withering has been recorded in Sumeru for millennia. By the way, have you heard of Irminsul before? Irminsul is a tree located deep beneath the surface. Although it isn't like any tree we know in a biological sense. You can basically think of it as a large tree that grows downwards rather than upwards. I'm sure you've heard of ley lines, right? They're like the roots of Irminsul. Ley lines continually absorb the Dendro Archon is... And as for the Withering, its emergence is related to a disease that's affecting it. That's right. My ancestors learned of this from Greater Lord Rukadevata's familiars a long time ago. I'm afraid we Rangers will be battling the Withering Zones here for a long... All right, that's enough.
Let's finish this quickly. We may leave at any time. Next.
It is something of a luxury, but I love listening to the rain from the courtyard.
Oh, Tainari, you all made it back.
The Withering Zone you reported has been taken care of. Huh. Wait, is that... Oh no, Hypatia!
Huh? What's wrong, Tainari?
This Duskbird is Hypatia's designated courier for urgent news. You do remember her, don't you? She's the scholar you and Paimon were following when you first arrived in Sumeru.
Oh, her? How could we forget?
Let me see what's written in the letter first.
So what's it say? And what's with that weird expression on your... Huh? All Paimon sees are three
Yes, allow me to explain. After we brought you from Hypatia's cave to Gandharvaville, Hypatia resumed her meditation. She must have just finished. It's been nearly 3 days since she's had anything to eat, and it appears she's forgotten to prepare some rations.
What? You mean she's been sitting there for 3 days?
Well, obviously because this has happened before. Last time she drew 5 lines, and by the time we found her... Well, I'd prefer not to remember that. Needless to say, Hypatia's been through worse, but we should still get to her. I've got some emergency rations set aside for times like these.
Wait, you want us to bring her the rations?
Let's find out. Here, Traveler, take a smell and see. So, how do you feel?
Huh? Really? You're not feeling even a little drowsy? But wait, how'd you know that he'd be okay then?
Back when we were clearing the Withering Zone, I observed that he could adeptly manipulate the Dendro element. I knew then that he would be fine. And if I may ask, when I was telling you two about Irminsul's ley lines, was what I described similar at all to what you saw while you were unconscious? That's correct. Those weren't hallucinations at all. Because what you saw is of significant importance. Not just my forefathers were shown much favor by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. We took an oath. Now, after seeing you in action with my own eyes, you have earned my confidence, and I know when you passed out, your consciousness had connected directly with Irminsul. I could try to tell you more, but it would be better if you went to ask Hypatia instead. Her focus on meditation and use of Spirit Borneol.
That sounds nice and all, but will she really help us?
That was because when you ran into her, she was in a special phase of her training. During that time, she must avoid communicating with others. Please, wait here for a moment. Here, take these. It's a meal I packed for Hypatia. Also, here's a letter that I would like you to give to her. Just show it to her and she'll answer any question. No.
Hypatia should still be in the cave. Let's go inside and see how she's doing. Hypatia should still be in the cave. Let's go inside and see how she's doing. Hey! There's nobody here! Maybe she went out to look for some food. Let's try looking around the area. gotcha!
So hungry.
There's no way we can get her to eat in her current Huh? Wait. Why does it look super foggy outside? Huh? How'd things out here end up... What happened? And where are we? Really? Oh... This is huge! Paimon knew there's something off about that cave. Let's think of a way to get over there and have a closer look. Who knows? Maybe we'll find a lead of some kind.
Born of ice and frost. Barbados, guide us.
What happened just now? Why'd everything around us suddenly change?
Propagate!
Get out of here! Out of the way! That's gonna hurt in the morning.
Propagate!
I swear by my sword. For Rex Lapis. Teamwork is trivial.
Some! Scatter!
We're way behind schedule.
What in Tibet is going on here? This place is getting weirder by the minute. Hey, what's the matter? You don't look so good.
Born of ice and...
Decimate!
Barely a scratch! Wait, hear me!
Annihilate!
Access denied. Go as planned. This is long overdue.
Annihilate!
Propagate! Germinate!
Let's light it up! I'm going in! Go as planned! Let's light it up! Barbados, guide us. Go as planned!
Scatter! Scatter! Spring forth!
Grant me
Born of ice and frost.
life! The end!
Blaze over.
Huh? Why can't we beat this guy? Oh, Paimon doesn't get it! We've faced others like him before! What's wrong this time?
Traveler, though you may have managed to avert countless crises before, your good fortune was bound to end sooner or later. It's time you realize how weak and powerless you really are. Your sister. Her Highness has long since forsaken you. Your meager existence in her eyes is that of the bonds of love and family which drive you to find your sibling are utterly gone. But don't you fret now. Today...
What do we do? Oh, there she is! Well, the good news is that she's still conscious. Hey, why'd you drop her food on the floor like that? Are you okay? That's really not like you. Anyways, we can talk about... sec. Look at all this fruit lying around her.
Who is there? Tainari, is that you? Huh?
It's okay. You can relax, Hypatia. Tainari sent us.
I see. So, you're friends of Tainari. I'm grateful that you came so quickly to save me. You even brought all this fruit.
Well, actually, we were kind of wondering about that, actually. When we found you here, there was all this...
Oh, really? I seem to understand now.
Your neighbor? You mean there's someone else living nearby?
Oh? So, you're able to...
Wait, hold on a second, Traveler. You say that before we arrived, you saw some mysterious creature and...
No, I actually do believe what the Traveler is saying. I myself had a similar experience once before and ended up scaring my... You needn't worry. They mean you no harm. They only dragged you into the dream because they hoped to buy themselves a little time.
So, Hypatia, just what kind of
I'm not sure what it's called, to be honest. But I know this because the first time I saw them was also the exact day my consciousness was able to form a connection with Irminsul. Even after I opened my eyes and stopped meditating, my heart was still pounding, and my mind was and at that very moment, in my curiosity, I began to walk over to the creature. They must have already been used to me living in the cave, because it wasn't until I crouched down next to them that they suddenly realized that I could see them.
Oh! And then?
And then I had a dream. By the time I came to, they were nowhere to be seen. I was convinced they'd never show up again. But sure, I feel like they aren't as afraid of me as the first time I approached them. Yes, no doubt about that. By the way, Tainari mentioned in his letter that you had questions for me regarding Irminsul. Sorry about that.
Well, if somebody hadn't dropped the food earlier... Anyway, looks like we'll need to... Alright, we're up, Traveler.
Sounds good.
Let's light it up! Go as one!
All done! Let's use the empty box that Tainari gave us since we... Oh, it smells amazing!
Are you already finished cooking? Even though everything you mentioned was in Tainari's letter, it's still hard to believe you were able to It took me nearly 3 years before I could do so. And everyone at the academia even lauded me as a genius. You should know that some researchers spent their entire lives.
So why does this incense allow people...
The ingredients used to make spirit-born ale primarily consist of plants created by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Since the root of the Dendro Archon's power lies within Irminsul, we can occasionally tap into her powers to peer into the depths of the earth. Naturally, anyone who can establish a connection with Irminsul in their first ever attempt must be a person of great understanding.
Makes sense. But Paimon's got a question. Why was he sensitive to the smell of those plants for such a long time?
That was primarily due to his body's unique constitution. Stimulated by the incense, he could perceive the Dendro-Archon's power and experienced a sensory overload. Hence the adverse reactions. Taking in any scent similar to the ingredients of Spiritborn Ale would cause adverse effects. Not to worry though. It appears technically your body should still be sensitive to the powers of the Dendro-Archon. But unless you're using intentional meditation techniques, the scent of...
Whew. Well, that's...
I must admit, I am quite envious of your abilities. Even if it meant suffering from pounding headaches for the rest of my life, I'd consider it worthwhile so long as I could connect with Irminsul at will.
Whoa! You're really serious about this whole thing, aren't you?
As a member of the Ritaoist Darshan at the Academia, my main area of research is the stars and their connection to the fate of... Which is why I must turn to the all-knowing Irminsul for... If only my perception wasn't so limited. Unfortunately, I am currently in the stage of training known as Satyavada life. Sages have said that Irminsul contains divine knowledge, and touching such knowledge without... That's why we meditate alone. We need to ensure that our minds will be calm, while minimizing the possibility of involving anyone else.
Whoa! So knowledge from Irminsul can be super dangerous!
Of course I do. Especially during nights that are pitch black with no moonlight. However, I've been feeling better as of late. I don't get as scared anymore knowing that I have a little neighbor living near. I believe that being able to see them is a sort of blessing. But what's strangest of all is that they're clearly an envoy of the God of Wisdom herself. And they have the curious...
What's so strange about that? It doesn't...
Well, it's strange because nearly nobody in Sumeru can ever dream.
Oh. Is that true?
Yes, well, to an extent. Only children can dream in Sumeru. The sages say that wisdom implies rationality, but that which occurs in dreams is often neither rational nor logical. Yes, if one struggles with anxieties, those emotions could influence their dreams. The fact that the people of Sumeru do not have dreams is seen as a blessing by the sages. They believe that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, the god of... I was born into a family of scholars in Sumeru City. Ever since I was a child, I studied hard, enrolled as a student in the Academia, and went on. But then, on the day I scared the little Aranara, it was incredible. Though I don't exactly remember. Back then, I was foolish and ignorant as any youth would be. But I was free. Just be sure not to speak of this if you travel to Sumeru City. They'll look at you as if you've lost your mind.
So, do you have any thoughts about the things he saw when he connected with Irminsul?
Sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any answers as of now. All I can say is that what you saw is a memory contained within Irminsul. World, forget me. If only I could ascend past Satyavada life and begin Paripurna life. I might have some more answers for you. If you two are ever in the area again, please be sure to come and see. There's no need to be thanking me. You two are my saviors. Besides...
Now that we know Hypatia is alright, and had the chance to ask her some questions...
Think about it, Tainari. Refusing to join is tantamount to burying your head in the sand. I understand that you're a forest watcher, and that it's your duty to combat the effects of withering zones. But isn't it evident that such work is not a lasting solution? As Sage Kage clearly stated, your presence and guidance in Sumeru City is pivotal in finding a cure for Irminsul. How could you possibly refuse?
Keep your emotions in check, Gulam. Let's at least listen to Tainari's reason.
Sage Kage, I am truly honored that I am merely a forest watcher. How could the great minds...
Well, it turns out that your refusal letter had some implications on your...
I see. Huh. And I figured that given his temper, he would...
Tainari, your master is an
And what exactly does my master need of me, Sage Kage?
You'll know once you've arrived.
And how long will I be required to stay?
There's no...
Do you mean to tell me that despite coming all the way here to Gandharville, you still can't answer the question? If that's the case, then I'm afraid I cannot give you a definite answer either.
Tainari!
So be it. Come, Gulam, we're leaving.
Tainari, what was that all about?
It's nothing. Some people from the academia wanted me to go to Sumeru City to assist them with a project, but I had to refuse on account of all my responsibilities. But all that can wait. How did things...
It was quite the eventful trip, but the main thing is that she...
Very good. Now that the traveler has made a full recovery, there shouldn't be any reason for...
That's right! We want to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali and ask her for advice!
Sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any advice.
Well, do you at least know anyone?
Let me think. My trips to Sumeru... How about this? I'll write you a letter of introduction that you can give to a researcher I know. Also, when you enter Sumeru City, you'll probably end up receiving something like this item here.
Oh?
It's called an Akasha Terminal. It's a tool. Needless to say, this device and its usage fall under the academia's expertise.
Great! Next up! That's right! Tainari, we have something
Yes, she's doing much better. After being confined to her bed all this time, I thought a little walk would do her some good. She knew you two would be leaving soon, so she must have wanted to see you.
Thanks, Tainari. All right.
Farewell, and good luck to you.
I've been waiting for you two. Well, thanks for waiting here just to see us off, Kale. We're headed to Samir. Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. My condition. And, I'm sorry. I should have told you both about my condition when we first met. I just wanted you two to treat. But I guess now I understand that the most important thing is for friends to. There's no need to apologize, Kale. We should be thanking you for. We're probably still gonna worry about your condition, but that's. Thank you. That means a lot. Oh? It's my recipe for pita pockets. I told you that I'd give you a copy, remember? My hand. Yay! Thanks, Kale. Now we can. I hope that whenever you eat them, you'll both remember your time here in Gandharvaville. Well then, I, trainee Forest Ranger Kale, bid you both.
We're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda...
entered the city, something on their heads lit up.
One moment, please, you two. It appears this is your first time visiting Sumeru City.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because there's currently no information on either of you in the Akasha. But no need to worry, that won't prevent you from entering the city. In fact, the Academia conveniently provides each traveler to Sumeru City with a device. Perhaps you two have heard of the Akasha before. It's our beloved After centuries of tireless research, as long as you are within Sumeru's borders, you may use an Akasha terminal to connect directly to the Akasha and access any knowledge you need. I should mention that due to technical limitations, the operation of Akasha terminals will be much smoother and more effective in large cities, such as Sumeru City and...
Oh, so this is the thing that Tainari was telling us about.
You two are quite fortunate. Until recently, it was standard practice to only issue Akasha terminals to outlanders who spent an extended amount of time in Sumeru. However, this policy was recently changed. Here are your Akasha terminals.
It kinda looks like a leash.
To activate it, simply hold it in your hand and say the following...
Oh! Says this little doodad lets you access knowledge. May the mighty god bless... Whoa! Just now, something clicked, and Paimon suddenly knew how to use this thing! It seems all we need to do is concentrate on what we want to know, and bam! You get it! Oh, that'll come in real handy.
Exactly. That, and with that, let me officially welcome you both to Sumeru City. May the wisdom of the Dendro Archon always be your guide.
Okay, now that we're in, we can check the... 500 years ago, the sages found a newly born deity. Okay, next, let's concentrate on asking how to meet her. Paimon doesn't sense anything. Oh, come on! Focusing on this question feels like when you have something you're trying to remember and it's on the tip of your tongue. Paimon's brain is exhausted. Oh, smart idea. But what are you going to ask it? You too? Uh-oh. Paimon's getting all teary-eyed all of a sudden. Huh. Could it be because we're Outlanders and we've only just arrived in Sumeru? You know, maybe we're not qualified to receive an answer to this sort of question or something. Well, he's from Sumeru and even has a position in the... Let's see. Tainari wrote an address on the letters... Let's head over and have a look. Hopefully he's at home. Hello, are you Rohawi?
Yes, that's me.
Great, you see...
What? Please, there's no need to say anything, really. Sure, I admit that the article I published last month wasn't my best work, and maybe the data didn't produce the most convincing results.
Here, this is a letter from
Oh, let me see. Seems even Tainari acknowledges...
We want to meet with...
You mean you want to meet the Dendro Archon herself? Sorry.
What? You too? But what about your abilities for getting information and all that?
Well, as I said, this isn't my area of expertise. I am but a lowly researcher. All I know is that ever since Lesser Lord Kusanali returned to Sumeru, she's never left the Sanctuary of
Huh. Didn't expect you...
The Dendro Archon is somewhat of a recluse. Perhaps she just doesn't want to entertain visitors, which would...
but...
No need to worry just yet. I'm only And besides, you two should consider the bright side of things. Not in this world, there will always be information you cannot obtain from the Akasha, and things... Take me, for example. Don't mention it. If you two ever want information about things like who's been promoted within the academia, or relations between the 6 great... Hey, come on! This is a survival skill at the academia.
Oh, Paimon's expectations... So what do we do now? Even if we want to talk... Huh? Like who? Oh, you're right! Catherine! The adventurers...
Propagate!
Ad Astra Abyssask. Hello, Traveler and Paimon.
Catherine, We need your help.
Understood. The adventurer...
We want to meet with lesser...
You two wish to meet with Sumeru... I apologize, but I am unable to call up any relevant information in the...
Aww, another dead end.
Please do not worry. In Sumeru, the Adventurers Guild does not serve as the vanguard of information. They take on various An Eremite brigade called the Corps of 30 is in charge of Sumeru City's defenses. Not only are...
Corps of 30?
Supposedly, they... Asphalt, and if you'd like to get in contact with him, you're welcome. I wish you two the best...
Alright! Off to the Citadel of Razor we go!
Ad Astra Abyssosque.